Hey guys, it's your Tuesday. Two things before I start the video. One, yes, I have rearranged my room. That's by getting a different perspective of it. And two, I'm actually going to be reordering the questions. Only because the first question I think is going to be the question that I get off topic about because I think it's going to take me the longest to explain. So that's going to be my last question. So anyways, now that I got that sorted, let's go. Question 2 is, how do you feel about the LGBT stereotypes? Now, let me tell you in general, I absolutely hate stereotypes. I don't feel that there's a need to label anyone, and it's the labeling that causes the stereotypes. And if you don't fit the certain stereotype, then, you know, you're a poser, or you're faking it, or, you know, you're just a wannabe, or I don't know. I haven't exactly heard many stereotypes about the LGBT community besides the obvious being that lesbians always have to be the very butch and, you know, with the short hair and the completely into sports and everything, which I know a fair bit of lesbians, and actually I know a lot of lesbians, and very few of them are actually like this. I do know a fair bit of dykes, but along with my fair bit of dykes, I do know a lot of that are just, I don't know how you would label them in the classification of a lesbian. They're just themselves. And so yeah, then you got the bisexuals. And what I've heard about bisexuals is, if you're bisexual, you must be a slut, because all that bisexuals are, they're not real. They just say that they're bisexual so they can sleep around and they have their options open, and, you know, they're always gonna get some because, I don't know, they're not limiting themselves. And but again, I know a fair bit of bisexuals and none of them are like this. But yeah. And you've got the gays. And the gays' typical stereotype is, obviously, they always have to have the feminine voice. They always have to, you know, be like, oh my god, shoes. And, you know, they have to be very feminine if you want to be gay. You can't be sporty if you're gay, because it just doesn't work that way. If you're gay, you have to be like a girl. And the gays that I do know do obviously take care of themselves, which I reckon every person should take care of themselves. Everyone takes care of themselves, so I don't see how, you know, just because a guy wants to look good, all these fashion models out there, they want to look good. They, you know, they do it for a job to look good. How come they're getting no trouble for looking good, but how come the gays are? Transgenders. I actually don't know any stereotypes for transgender. Question number 3. LGBT people who inspire me. Now, I'm going to say 4. You've got the very obvious that all the lesbians, and I'm always going to say Ellen DeGeneres, but she's amazing. She is probably the best role model out there. She's not afraid to, you know, look how far she's gotten. She lost her job to say that she is the way she is, and look how much further she has gotten by standing up to and who she is and not letting people push her around. And she is basically the voice of the LGBT. That's basically what she is. She is the voice. She is an inspiration. Person number 2 would be Gregory Gorgeous. He's a YouTuber. If you haven't seen him, you should go check him out. He's gay, and he's absolutely, he is gorgeous. He's fabulous. He's gorgeous. He's amazing. I find him funny. I find him, you know, adorable. But the reason why I find him inspirational is because he's got that very, well, if you don't like me, well, sucks to be you kind of attitude, which, you know, I find is great, because he's not afraid to be who. Number 3 and number 4 I like for the same reason, which is Steph, LO Steph, and Hannah Hart, because they seem so down to earth, even though they have all these fans, and, you know, they just seem very down to earth. Like, I reckon if you just you know, walk up to them and just be like, hey, how you doing? You know, they'll just be like, yeah, okay, you know, how you been? You know, I don't know, they just seem very down to earth to me. Now, question number 1 is best and worst things about being LGBT. Now, I don't know how to explain this. I guess the best would be you get to be who you are, you get to express who you are, you get to explore your sexuality further. As well as, I guess, being able to see who is your friends and who's actually got to stick with you, because, well, everyone's experience is different, but for me, I came out as bisexual about 3 years ago. I came out as pansexual like last year, beginning of last year. And the thing is, you can say these things, but no one takes you seriously until you date someone of the same gender. It's not until I started dating my current girlfriend where people were just like, you're dating a chick. And I'm like, yeah, I've said that I like girls. And they're just like, oh, okay, so you really do like girls if you're dating a chick. So no one takes you seriously until you date someone of the same gender, or until you actually start showing that you are this sexuality. But for me, when, you know, when people actually started to acknowledge me as someone who does also like the same sex person, and, you know, someone who just likes people for who they are, I've actually had nothing but a positive experience. I haven't lost any friends because I guess I was already surrounded by a lot of bisexuals and lesbians for the past, say, year and whatnot. All my guy mates are basically like, oh cool, we can talk about chicks now together, and I'm like, haven't you noticed I've been talking about chicks for the past like 3 years? You know, not every person's experience is the same. There is a lot of hate out there towards the LGBT community, but, you know, we are slowly getting more and more powerful and more accepted into society than we were, say, 50 years ago. We have, believe it or not, we've actually improved a fair bit, and I believe soon that LGBTs are going to be 100% accepted into society. It will take time because, look, women have gained the right to vote. Blacks have gained the right to vote. We've got America's got a black president. And we've got a black president. And, you know, they're still getting discriminated against. But it's so much better than, say, you know, back when blacks were just slaves. That's all that they were. They were nothing good. We are getting better, and I'm hoping to see it in my lifetime that we will be accepted 100%. I'm not even sure if that explained the question, but I'm really running out of time and I gotta go. So, okay, I'll see you next week, guys. Bye.